I have been in my healthy era, okay? In like my full body healthy era, like full humanness, like my body, my soul, my spirit, everything has just been going towards a level of health that I am so excited about. So I wanted to do a little episode about all of us entering our healthy era together because it's been so much fun. I have noticed some of the biggest progress I have ever seen just in myself, and I'm obsessed. I'm literally so excited about these changes, and I'm gonna tell you actually what I'm doing, not what is ideal for me or like what I wish I was doing. I'm gonna be so straight with you. What habits are actually happening day to day, and we're gonna enter our healthy girl eras together. This is just gonna be so iconic, and I'm so excited. So let's jump in. So I'm actually in Atlanta right now. Well, I'm not recording the podcast in Atlanta, but when you hear this, I will be in Atlanta, which is super fun. It was a last minute trip. Matt had to take a work trip and he got to pick Colorado, Washington, New York City. I was like, all these fun options. And we got we ended up going with Atlanta because my family's there. And I really want to go to Colorado, but we wouldn't have been able to take Tank with us. And that's just drama. If you have a dog, you know it's drama when you can't take him with you because you don't really want to leave him somewhere, and he is my baby right now. Okay, listen. We don't have kids. We aren't fostering right now. We will be soon. But he's my baby. He's my little buddy. And also I work from home. So this guy and I, we spend all day together. He's literally sitting right here next to me right now. You can't see him, but he's adorable. So the thought of leaving my little baby boy, so heartbreaking. Anyways, I know all the moms out there are like cringing right now because I hear that like once you have a baby, you see how stupid your relationship with your dog was. You're like, okay, they actually aren't that great. But he's important to me. So, anyways, all that being said, we're in Atlanta visiting my family, which is so fun. My brother just got engaged, so all of the fun things, and we're living life. But let me tell you, I have been in my healthy era, like 1 bajillion%. I am all about renewing these habits, renewing these like healthy practices, building these routines that I love, and moving my body, taking care of my mind, growing my spiritual life, all of the things. And I want to talk about it, okay? Because it's a lot. And there are 10 ways specifically that I want to get into. And we're probably going to do some tangents. So it's probably going to be more like 15, but we're going to say 10. It's a clean number. And I'm really excited. So, in the spirit of being in our healthy girl era, we're drinking water right now, which is so lame. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's so lame. I should have come up with something better, but I'm just being honest with you. We're drinking water. So, anyways, let's jump in. Okay, my tip number 1. We're going to go pretty fast through these because there's 10 of them. We need to go. So, tip number 1 has been eating the rainbow. Oh my gosh, how cute is that for the first one, right? Okay. What do I mean by eating the rainbow? I have been trying to incorporate as many colors as possible into my diet. Why? Why? That's so weird. I know. I think a lot of people get focused on greens and they're like, oh, gotta get my greens, gotta drink my greens, gotta eat my greens. Good. That's really good. And that's a great place to start and stuff. But the reason why food is different colors is because it's different nutrients that food is high in. Okay. And so that's what changes the color of the food is all of the different vitamins and nutrients and minerals that are in that specific food. So blueberries, blue, very high in antioxidants. Okay. Just interesting things like that. Bananas are like this, like the outside's yellow, but like the inside, very, very high in potassium and fiber, has that whiter, creamier color. Okay. So it's just interesting because things change colors depending on the nutrients in them and the way that they all mix together. So I've been really, really big into rainbow salads. And so this will have a spinach kale base. I will put strawberries, blueberries, peaches, apples, walnuts, and a lot of goat cheese or feta cheese, depending. And if I have them, I'll put sweet potatoes in there with chicken. It's a big old salad. And it's like a rainbow. I'm getting all sorts of colors. and I'm getting all sorts of vitamins, nutrients. I feel so full after eating them. I put a little bit of like balsamic vinaigrette over it. Literally my favorite meal right now. I would eat it like breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's so good. It's so satisfying because you're getting so much nutrients in there. Okay. So, like, the same thing for like dinners, things like that. Like, I love a good piece of fish, I love a good salmon, and trying to put with that like a green, don't get me wrong, but then also getting other colors in there. Maybe you have a grapefruit with that, or maybe you go ahead and do a little side salad with a bunch of tomatoes and cucumbers and mozzarella cheese and like avocado. You get creative and you try to keep colors going. So, similarly with that, my protein intake has been so much higher. And I hate this because Matt has told me literally ever since we like started dating, so for like the past 3 years, no, 4 years, this man has told me, Belle, you need to eat more protein. I feel like a lot of us who have like men in our lives who go to the gym have probably heard this a lot, like, eat more protein. And I have never enjoyed meat or beans, which felt like my only two options for protein. So I was like, it's just not going to happen, like, point blank, period. But I started off with eating a lot more chicken and a lot more fish. Those were my two main sources of protein. Then I got into drinking protein shakes in the morning. So I'll drink protein shakes on my walk. And then I now am kind of, sort of, in the beginning phases of eating more red meat, just a little bit, not often. Like, I'm talking like twice a week. So I will do, Matt has a grill, which is like his pride and joy. And I will do burgers with him that are ground beef. I'm very, very, very picky about my meat. It's one of the things I'm most picky about. Everything has to be completely grass fed, organic, nothing happening to them. I'm the same way with my eggs, my chicken, just everything. And so, all that being said, I have started adding it. Also, I will do beef tacos now. I still don't love the flavor as much. It is really high in protein. I do love a good ground turkey moment for my tacos or anything like that I'm making with quesadillas or something. But overall, just trying to get more protein in. And let me tell you the changes I have experienced since this. I have actually been sleeping through the night. Usually I wake up a couple times, I struggle to fall back asleep. And I heard that the more, like, if you are eating the correct amount of protein, you sleep better. It's true. It's 100% true. I also have noticed more energy. I think that could be because I've changed a lot of things in my routine. So I don't want to necessarily claim any of these things like did the massive changing. I think it's because I made a lot of these changes together over the last few months. But all that being said, protein, I really have noticed a big difference. I do feel more energetic. I do feel like I just am able to sleep so much better in a way that I really haven't before. And I don't do any sort of like magnesium or anything like that. So I don't know. There's probably something to it. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like if everyone in the world is telling you to drink more water and then you start drinking more water and you notice a big difference, it's like, well, duh. You should have been doing this the whole time. But I don't know. It's still something where it kind of makes me mad that I'm doing it, but whatever. Moving on. I have been choosing to literally move my body every single day. Okay? And I think part of me kind of had this idea where it was like, okay, well, I need rest days and I need, like, I can't work out every day and all this stuff. But truthfully, our bodies were made to move. And that doesn't sound like a revolutionary statement, but it's been revolutionary in my life recently because I've accepted that my body isn't meant to have full days where it just doesn't move, where it just like walks like, under 2,000 steps. It's not meant for that. That's not healthy. And a body in motion stays in motion. That's something my mom has always, always, always said to me, is a body in motion stays in motion. And it's valid. So no matter what, every single freaking day, I've been walking at least 2 miles. And I've been doing this now for a few weeks. It's literally life-changing. I feel so much more accomplished. I get so much done on these walks because I'm either listening to a podcast and learning something new. I'm either calling a family member, having that conversation with them, or I'm doing like worship or deep thought. Like, They're just lovely. They're so lovely. I go at like when I go with the sunrise. So whenever the sun's rising, I go. So like right now it's like 7:30, but soon it'll be back to like 6:30 and I'll get to just keep on going. And it's so fun. These morning walks are just brilliant. I love it. And choosing to move my body every single day. Like there's no excuse why I shouldn't be moving unless I'm literally so sick. And so every day that's a walk. And then 3 times a week it's Pilates, 3 times a week it's strength training. And then I rest. And I love it so much. I love Pilates. It's easy. I do it at home. I do with the Fit On app. Highly suggest it. My girl Cassie's on there. That's the instructor. Love her. And I just do a nice little Pilates at home. For the strength training, I like to do band workouts, like with the like giant rubber bands. You know, I'm talking about the bands. Those are really great because it's kind of body weight, a little bit more like tension. I'll sometimes lift heavy things. I'll sometimes do like a good bench press or do some barbell squats or whatever, but it's not like my favorite thing. I don't necessarily love lifting, but I love strength training. And they go hand in hand sometimes. Biking, so fun. Just go on a bike ride. Just go like cycling. It just move your body. Tennis, you know what I mean? Just find fun ways to get active because you're meant to be active. You are. And I notice like the more I do it, when I have my rest days, which you really should, you need to have a rest day. But when I have my rest days, I notice like an energy about me where I'm ready to go work out. Like my body craves it. And it's new for me. It's new for my body to crave movement like this. And it's refreshing. It really is. Okay. So daily movement. Okay. So we're at eat the rainbow, eat your protein, movement. We've been very, very cliche. Let's get a little more niche with it, shall we? Next, therapy. I love therapy. I love it so much. I think that protecting your mental health, choosing to prioritize your mental health, a big portion of that is therapy or mentorship. Someone speaking into your life in a positive way, okay? So what does this look like? So we have a couple options. There's therapy, there's counseling, and then there's mentorship. And I think that depending on what you need in life, they're interchangeable depending on the season you're going through, okay? So for a while, I was in like therapy. And then I went to counseling for a while. And then now I'm more in like mentorship, which is amazing. But I also have like one of my best friends is a therapist. And so I feel like that kind of counts because we talk about a lot of things and sometimes I feel like I should pay her because she's just simply incredible. All that being said, in these moments, you are able to learn so much about yourself, about ways that you can grow, ways that you can love others better, faults that you have, strengths that you have, things that you do well, things that you want to just grow in. It's just an incredible time. And usually, if you're finding a good therapist, they pour into you, they encourage you, they give you exercises to do. Same with counseling, very, very similar. So therapists are like very high level, very ready for intentional, deep things. Counseling, I find, is a little more a little less like I don't know if I think counselors have less like certification training. Don't quote me on that. I think that. And then there's mentorship, which is when you're just having conversations with someone who is in the next season of life or maybe a few seasons of life after. And these conversations are just beneficial because you're able to get advice, you're able to talk things through, you're able to ask questions, you're able to just be poured into. And that's so vital for your development. You need someone, you need a community, and you need specifically someone to just be where either you want to be or be a few stages ahead of you that just pours into you. And it's beautiful. It's so incredible because you learn so much. And even just talking to them, talking through things is so therapeutic. It really is. I mean, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I mean, how many of us literally would like sit there while we were like doing our makeup and like walk us through like a get ready with me, and then it would turn into like a life story situation. I would do that all the time. I'd pretend I was like being interviewed by like Oprah or something. Anyways, that was a tangent. So that's huge. I also think something that's been big for me is consistent wake up time. Okay, so joined the 5 a.m. club this summer, did that for about a month, maybe 2. And it was good, except for the fact that I crave natural light, a lot of what I do is in natural light because I record a lot of what I do. I post, I don't know if you guys know this, I post about 4-ish videos a day between, and then I post those videos on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So I'm recording a lot all day. It's a huge portion of my job. And I would wake up and I would literally just be sitting there waiting for the sun to get up. So Matt still wakes up at 5 a.m. every day. But for me personally, what works best for me is waking up at 6 a.m. because I need the natural light. So, anyways, we do a little Bible study and we go on a walk and we drink our water. Those are my 3 non negotiables. No matter what, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to do that. Are there times where I will sleep in until 7? Yes. Because sometimes Matt goes to wake up and then he's like, it's my day off. I'm just going to go back to sleep. I'm like, oh, cool. It's fun. It's cozy. You know, we have a little cozy morning. But most of the time I'm waking up at 6. And being consistent in that has been so helpful. Knowing what to expect from my morning, so helpful. And I love it. A consistent wake up time, life-changing. Next. Protecting your rest, aka your Sabbath, okay? So one of my favorite verses in Mark, we have a small group that we host here on Thursdays, which is just a sweet time of community, and Matt and I lead it. And we were talking about the Sabbath because in Mark, early Mark, I think it's in Mark 3, Jesus talks about how the Sabbath was made for man, not the man for the Sabbath, okay? So that means that the Sabbath, a restful 24 hours, is truly made to strengthen us. It's made as a tool for humans to use. And when you start looking at rest as a tool, when you're someone who craves productivity, when you're someone who craves constantly like moving and checking things off like I am, it's really, really beneficial. And that's what rest is. It really is a tool. It's a place for you to reset, recharge, get creative again, and just kind of go back to your roots, be grounded. And when you protect that Sabbath, that 24 hours each week, it's been revolutionary for us. I feel like I am more committed to everything throughout the week. When I protect my Sabbath, I am able to be more excited. I'm able to give my intentional time and energy to what I'm actually doing instead of feeling so spread thin. And with that being said, I also try to get 2 hours of 1 to 2 hours of intentional rest each day. Okay, so I have my 24-hour Sabbath in the week, but I also really want to make sure that there is time in my day, every single day, that I'm able to reset and rest. So whether it's reading time before bed where I get to just sit down and read a good book, whether it's a fun dinner date night with Matt and then we come home and watch a movie, or maybe a little self-care night where I got a little face mask on and I'm doing a puzzle. No matter what it is, I need rest in each day outside of sleep. Like rest for my mind where it's not focused on a task. And that has just been so crazy in my healthy girl era because it helps me. It really does. It resets where I'm at with that, okay? Huge. I think we're at like 6, but we're going to keep going. I've kind of lost count. I told you this would happen. Next, vitamins. I take vitamins. I kind of got off my vitamin train earlier this year. It's fine. But I'm back on and I love it so much. I always can tell a difference. I just, whether it is in my skin, my nails, my hair, whatever, if it's one of those things, if it's my energy, just my digestion, all the things. So let me tell you what vitamins I take. I take vitamin B12. I take an iron probiotic multivitamin. And I take vitamins C and D. Okay? So those are the vitamins I take. I take them every day. I take them at night because one of the vitamins, I think it's vitamin D maybe. One of them, it sends it all the paperwork. It like sometimes can cause like a little bit of like digestion, not pain, but like it's just like it works through the body. And I just like to be asleep for that. I don't want to be awake and be like, oh, my stomach is making weird noises. So I do it at night and I take it right before bed. And I used to take my medication, but I am off my medication. So yay. So I just take my vitamins now, and it's so amazing. Literally notice such a big difference. So if you're interested in learning more about that, in the show notes, I will have the Care of quiz. So Care of is the vitamin provider that I use. So nice. They prepackage your vitamins for the day, and then you just open one little package each day, and all your vitamins are in it. And they walk you through what each vitamin does. So you can take a little quiz and you like mark down your goals. So you could be like, my goal is to, have stronger nails. And then I'll be like, oh, you need to take keratin. And then it'll give you like your supplement and it'll be like $7 for the month. And then they ship it to you every month. It's so easy. It's so nice. So, anyways, I do that and I love it. So, taking vitamins, huge. And that kind of goes along with like supplements too. Like I said, I've been taking protein powder. I will drink green juice on days where I'm not eating like a big salad. And then I also will do electrolytes if I've been outside and being sweaty. Like it just depends. Whatever the day consists of, I'm very careful to make sure that I'm getting the nutrients that I need. So, lifting days, days that I am doing strength training, I make sure my protein levels are super high because I need to make sure my muscles continue to grow with that. Days that I'm outside doing work or it's like especially hot, I will make sure to drink my electrolytes because I need to replenish that. You know what I mean? So you just kind of do the things that you need. Very intuitive. Next, lowering my caffeine intake. As a coffee girly, this was a hard one for me for a long time, but I started drinking matcha, which has a slow release caffeine. If you listen to the low cortisol morning routine episode, I talk more about why matcha is really good for you. So I highly suggest you go listen to that episode. One of our top played ones, especially on YouTube. People on YouTube loved that episode. But with that being said, I love not having to rely on caffeine. I don't get headaches in the morning anymore. I went through like full blown withdrawal. Okay, so a couple months ago, I literally was like splitting headache. I was like dry mouth. The withdrawal was real, okay? But once you make it through that, you don't have to rely on it. So now every time that I travel, I'm not like having these massive headaches. I'm not like out of it, brain fog, not able to function. I can function now, which is so refreshing. And honestly, when I have caffeine, I get really jittery. I get really shaky. My hands will shake a little bit. And I feel anxious. I will overanalyze every conversation I have, every single thing that I see until I am like the world's most hated person in my head when I have too much caffeine. Now, let me tell you what happened recently. I did not realize that the shaken espresso at Starbucks has like a disgusting amount of caffeine. Okay. So this was like my fall drink. I'd get the apple crisp shaken espresso. And I really didn't notice that this was what was causing the anxiety problems. And so this was like really recently. And then I saw this like person talk about how much caffeine was in this drink. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And so I like started to trace back and I was like, I wonder, like, is this why I've been more anxious lately? Weird. Okay, weird. Because when fall is here, Matt is obsessed with the pumpkin cream cold brews. So we go like weekly to Starbucks to get the fall drinks. Only during the fall, just the fall drinks. And all that being said, I got the drink again. And maybe it's in my head, but I was like, oh my gosh, no, this is totally what's been causing the anxious thoughts to spike again. So let me tell you, I do decaf. I do decaf for literally everything. Caffeine is not that important. Once you go through withdrawal, you don't need it to survive. Like you don't. And I choose to get my energy from other things like the food I eat, trying to make sure that I get the right sleep. And I don't know. I love it. I love the ritual of coffee though. I love the ritual of having a drink with me. So that's why I am still drinking matcha. I drink a chai tea. I will drink decaf coffee, decaf lattes. And this isn't like I won't drink caffeine ever. I will not. I love me a good Diet Coke. I love one. And that has a lot of caffeine in it too. So, lowering your caffeine intake, not removing it completely, but lowering it. So you're not necessarily totally dependent on it, okay? Next, guys, I think this is the last one. Yeah, on my list. We've hit them all. This is the last one. Reading will literally change your life. If you want to enter your healthy girl era, you have to know what steps to take. You have to learn about it. So, reading whether that's on a Kindle, whether it's hardcover, audiobooks, let's even count maybe podcasts, just learning about you, your body, what works for you, what doesn't, all those things. And what better resource than people who have already done all the things you're talking about? Okay. So like whenever I plan a trip, no matter where it is, we're planning our trip to Greece, which we leave for in May. I'm talking to every single person I know who's gone to Greece. And I'm like, what'd you like? What'd you do? What'd you eat? All the things. Tell me everything. So why is it different for my body than when I'm going through like sleep problems? How did you fix your sleep? How do you sleep so well? I'm going to ask all those questions the same way for literally everything. And what's crazy is that there's a book about literally everything. Someone has written down their experience, their thoughts, their trial, their error, and expressed that in hopefully a good way. And if you're reading a good book, it is a good way, and you're going to get to learn from that. So I love this so much. My productivity is one of the things that I'm really leaning into for the month of October, in case you couldn't tell. And I was reading Smarter, Faster, Better. And it's all about productivity. Love the book. So good, so fascinating. And it's talking about how productivity is actually a skill that you can hone, you can define, you can craft. And I've never heard people talk about it like that because everyone's like, motivation comes and goes. You got to be disciplined. Well, guess what? Actually, motivation, productivity, inspiration, all those things, it is a skill. It is a skill to be inspired, to be motivated. And you can actually work on that, cultivate that skill. And I've never heard it that way. And I was like, oh, wow, mind blown. So reading, investing in other people's knowledge will help you enter your healthy girl era so fast. Not just for your mind, not just for your body, but also for your spirituality, right? So these are 10 ways that I have been really, really leaning into over the past couple of months. Just three facets of who I am. I am a body. I am a soul. I have a soul in a body with a spirit, a direct relationship to God. And like I said, we're doing a podcast episode very, very soon about what that looks like exactly and my understanding of it, because there's lots of understandings and I'm excited about that. But these are just 10 ways that you can enter your healthy era. Okay. We're entering your healthy era together. I actually did do 10. I'm counting right now, and I did 10 and I killed that. So thank you. Anyways, I am so excited to see all of your improvements, all of the ways that you're entering your healthy era. Feel free to comment, tag, DM me, talk to me, do all the things. And if you're feeling extra generous, I would love if you guys could leave a review on Apple or Spotify. Wherever you're listening, it just means the world to me. It really is such a good way to bring more people into the Inspired Lady community and just help us this out, okay? All right, I love you so much and I hope you have the best week ever.